together and solve it.
There's too much hate,
Yeah.
Right. I can dislike what you say all day long. I can dislike what Noam says all day long. But in the end, can we put the disagreements and the agreements together to somehow get a solution? That's the main goal. We got the same goal of it.
Sure.
Let's just at least get a same goal. I don't agree with you, but we have to agree on at least one goal. If we as a people start doing that, maybe we can force our governments to start doing that.
Yeah, that's actually a proposal, or you could say it's a proposal that I have made actually to some BDS people in my city some week ago. I told the woman there that is working for a group called the Palestine groups here in Sweden, and I told her that I think that one way to get peace is actually to have many people, many hundreds of thousands, both on the Palestinian side and on the East side, only calling for peace. Not for, they don't protest against anything, they only call for peace, and that they say that their government should make peace. I think that if the government should see maybe 100,000, maybe up to 1 million on both sides, that calls for the governments to make peace on their behalf, then I think the governments would feel so much pressure that they would make peace. So that's my proposal. I think it would work. I don't think any government could stand against that.
I agree with that. If the people stand up and fall over together, it's not like we're going to change the world and make a peaceful Brady Bunch world within, I won't even give 5 years. But if you work hard, I don't think I'm going to see peace in my lifetime, but I think it's possible for me to see, for my grandchildren and their kids to see peace. If they work hard enough and you keep on it,
in Egypt, did no one think that they would be free there? Before Mubarak fell? Yeah, before Mubarak fell there.
I don't think any of them thought that they would be free.
There you go. So if people actually rise up and demand, I think the politicians will listen.
Yeah.
So that's a great lesson to learn from the Arab Spring.
Even my own country, we weren't free without blood spilling and people disagreeing all the time. And it took a very long time for it to happen. So if it can happen here, if the people rise up and they're serious about it, then it can happen everywhere else. And it's a responsibility to people who do have freedom to show them and support them in that, whether they agree with them or not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to spoil his dream. It's a very nice dream. I dreamed it before. I dreamed it until I think 2 years ago. I believe 100% what you're saying over here. But the reality is something else. I'm sorry to tell it to you guys.
I'm sorry to tell you.
I'll give you a simple example.
Also, but it's starting there. There's never you never can say never. Back the years that you're saying,
so
was there an Arab Spring?
What?
Was there? Did you see the uprising in Egypt? People always said that never could happen either, but it did. And they took down a 30-year dictator.
The result is bad. The result is very bad. You don't understand how much is bad. You need to understand.
It's only a year.
It's only
a year.
It's not good.
Mubarak's not going to be there forever. Do you know that the president in Egypt now only has a 4-year term? A 4-year term. There's going to be another election if they don't make him leave now, and they do no more than 8. Egypt's never had that. So it's only been 2 years. So how can you say that it's failed? It's not done yet. It's way early. They're newborns to democracy right now. Newborns. So to give them and say they failed or it went
I will
bad.
tell you how it failed from. I will tell you how it failed from the Israeli point of view. Okay. As long as Mubarak was in power, no attacks on the Israeli embassy in Egypt, in Cairo. Okay. After the revolution, they burned down the Israeli embassy. Burned down. The whole crowd of people attacked the Israeli embassy, get in. Egyptian commando need to rescue the diplomatic crew from the embassy. After Obama talked with the man in charge in Egypt, I don't remember his name, before Morsi, before the election, to rescue the diplomatic team over there. The terror attacks was starting to show on the Israeli-Egypt border. Okay, the Muslim Brotherhood is in control over there. It's very bad. The future is not good. This is how I can see it, and I wish I am wrong. I wish I was not right, and you are right. I wish. Be happy.
Well,
if I am wrong and you are right. But
can I respond to what you just said?
What?
They did attack the Israeli embassy. They did it. I was there. I was in Egypt when this happened. Yes, they did. Do you know why they did? Do you know? Can you tell me?
They have a very good reason.
Why? Oh, I'm serious. Can you tell me why? I'm not saying it whether it was right or wrong. I'm just asking you if you know the reason why the embassy was attacked.
Because, let me guess, because of the occupation of the Palestinians.
No, that's not why.
No, because we make the revolution. We infected the revolution.
No, it's not why.
So why?
The reason the Israel embassy was attacked was because there was some terrorists going in from Egypt over into Palestine, and there was a gunfight that involved Israel and Egypt trying to keep these terrorists from going through into Gaza. And 16 or five or six Egyptian soldiers, border soldiers, were killed.
Police officers.
Police officers? Or border police? Or border
I think they were. No, I think they were.
Yeah, that's too bad, actually.
Okay, well, anyway, what happened was that Egypt was waiting for an apology for this, and Israel would not give that. And that angered the people and made them protest outside in front of the Israeli embassy.
I think they should have done that.
I mean, I don't think that they should have done what they did to.
We killed
Can I finish?
The police officer?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
It was Israeli gunfire that killed the police officers. Yes. I can send you the link if you would like. I can send you the link if you like. But that's why.
Yeah.
That's why the. Okay. But that's why there was.
I think they should have done that, like you said, Domingue.
By the way, it's a good reason to
burn
down the Israeli ambassador. It's a good. It's fair enough.
No, it's not. But
maybe next time.
I think she's right.
Maybe next time when a rocket fire from Gaza and kill some child or something, we will burn down Gaza.
No, but no, you also have to understand the other side. I mean, if Israel kills the Egyptians, then I mean, Egypt has to very, very good reason to be angry. at Israel?
I know what you're talking about, and this is not case. I'm waiting for the link, and I will respond.
Okay.
There was a terror attack on a citizen bus next to the Egyptian border. Terrorists attacked this bus from Egyptian territory. Okay, this is an attack that go from Egypt into Israel by a terrorist group. I don't know, from Hamas or from some terror organization. We have a lot over in this area, and this terror attack, the Israeli security forces response, and they firing at. If somebody fired at you fire back. I don't know. I don't think it was 16. I think it was 2. And you can make sure that we kill them. It was a terror attack, a big massacre.
Yeah, but the Israelis killed Egyptians. I don't know how many, but of course.
How do you know? How do you know it? I'm waiting for the link.
Yeah, that's how I understand it.
Even so, if somebody need to get someone investigate, is Israel Egyptian investigate, because a terror attack come from the Egyptian side. They have to keep their forces to prevent such a terror attack. Because we have
of course.
Okay?
I don't support attacking him.
Okay, so we have been attacked. We defend ourselves, and this maybe.
Yeah, but you can't kill them.
Soldier was killed. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't kill them.
Soldier. We have peace. I don't know if we kill them. I'm waiting for the link.
I have heard about it also. I mean, I think it's true.
Okay, yes.
Israel has to be careful killing people.
2000. Let's discuss this terror. This what happened. Okay, in 2011, 18 August 2011, there was a terror attack, 12 kilometers from north of Eilat, in the Israeli-Egypt border. Egypt terrorists opened fire on a civilian bus on Road 12, and after they opened fire on an Israeli car, citizen car, and murdered 6 Israeli civilians, and wounded 40. Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
And I'm reading from the links that Dominga is sending from Wikipedia. Okay, in the pursuit after the theory, 7 terrorists killed and 5 Egyptian soldiers. So in the beginning, you said 18 or 16 Egyptian soldiers. Remember? Okay, it's only 5. Let's see. We have killed 6 plus a soldier. We have 7 people killed and 40 wounded. And in the pursuit, 5 Egyptian soldiers was killed. Okay. Okay, so what do you want? The terror attack was taking place from Egypt into Israel.
Right, but after this happened, Israel denied to say they were sorry for the deaths of these 5 soldiers or 5 officers.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
So that's what sparked. That is. I'm not putting blame on you. I'm not asking you to give me an explanation or stand up and give to defend anything. I'm just telling you what you said about the attack onto the Israel embassy. This is why. It started off as a protest out in front of the Israel embassy in and it turned it into clashes, and that's why your ambassador ended up having to flee. This is what sparked that.
What I want to say is the terror attack was committed by Egyptian citizens. One of the Egyptian terrorists was a police officer in active service. Okay, this is from the link you gave it to me. Okay, so I'm not here to judge, but I accept a little bit of common sense in this case. What happened? I suggest everybody should read the links that you sent, and I don't think it's a good reason to burn down embassy of a country that you want to see, especially if you are the aggressor, if you are the attacker. Okay, and none in the links that you sent me, it's not right over there that we killed those Egyptian soldiers. You said in the beginning 60, it's 5 Egyptian soldiers, and nobody say we killed them. Maybe the terrorists killed them. I don't know. So
it really doesn't
I don't
matter.
think it's a good reason.
Five Egyptian soldiers died protecting the border for Israel. That's all that needs to be said.
Seven Israeli citizens were killed and 40 wounded by terror attack from Egypt.
And do you think the Egyptian military at that time said, "We're sorry, we're sorry for your loss"? And do you also think that if the Egyptian excuse me, do you think that if the Egyptian government or the Egyptian soldiers were responsible for those Israelis losing their life, they wouldn't say, "I'm sorry," and try to compensate? Can you tell me they would not? Because those people do have families. Do you think that if it was turned around, okay, and the Egyptian government was responsible for the deaths of Israelis, whether they be military or not, would say, "We're sorry for your loss," and try to compensate them families? They would.
Okay, how did you know that we didn't? How do you know that we didn't?
That's what sparked up. I mean, you can Google it yourself. I'm working on other stuff right now, but you can Google it yourself. That is the protest in front of the embassy started. I mean, Egypt has been through. They're going through a revolution. You've got protesters out, and how many times they're clashing right now as we speak. And it doesn't even have anything to do with anybody. So, whether they had the right to do it or not, they did it. They're in the middle of protesting and things of this sort. So you have to look at both sides. It's not blaming you or not. I'm not trying to put you on the offensive to where you have to defend. I'm just telling you what I know is to be the truth. I'm not trying to make you be on a defensive where you have to defend Egypt or have to defend Israel yourself or anybody else. I'm just giving you the facts that how I know.
Okay, so in Egypt, Egyptian citizens killed seven Israeli citizens, and
but not the military.
And one military. It doesn't matter. There was a terrorist. One of the terrorists was a police officer, Egyptian police officer. Okay, and I didn't see in Israel that we burned down the Egypt embassy. And I think.
But I mean, it was a terror organization. It was a terror organization that killed the Israelis.
Okay, but the Egyptians have failed to protect the border. This is
I don't know how they got through.
The border. What do you think if some Israeli soldier or Israeli citizen go mad and took his gun and start shooting at the Egyptian side? Israeli citizen. start sitting on the Egyptian side and killed some citizens the other side. What will go? Or what will happen? They will not burn the embassies, they will start a war. Okay?
Noam, do you
I
have
don't see
protests
how
there?
it's a good.
Do you have protests
Well,
there in Israel?
what do you,
Do you have protests there?
yeah, of course.
People who go out and protest things?
I person, yeah, sure.
Protest. People go out on the streets
On
and
everything,
protest.
everything.
Does it always stay
Everything.
calm and non-violent?
Most of the time, yes.
But
The
there are
Israeli police
times
will
that it gets violent.
never, violence not to burn ambassadors. Violence, I don't know, 2, 3 arrested, something like this. Maybe a vitrina, a glass of a shop will blast. Nothing more.
Okay. But there is, I mean, they can get violent, right? There is potential for them to get violent, right?
Not for burning ambassador. The Israeli police will never agree, will never let put this way. Never. I can assure you.
By saying a potential for them to get violent, I mean violent in any way.
In the history of
Words,